Have you ever thought it would be nice to have me as a resource, but you're not really needing the full consulting packages? Well, I'd like to introduce you to the Realistic Regen Ag Community. I'll be covering this in this episode in my newsletter for April of 2023. Hi, my name is Scott Gillespie of Plants Dig Soil, the name of the podcast and the consulting company. We're an independent agronomy company. We do not sell products, we provide advice only. We focus on realistic regen ag, which has to be proven and profitable. We work in person or remote or a combination of the two. Our pricing is set to be affordable to anyone from a Q&A package to full farm planning. There's no long-term commitments. You can retain our services, do it yourself, or hire others. Of course, we always love to work with people over the long term. So in my full consulting packages, there's multiple meetings throughout the time together. In between meetings, we have a support of email, phone, which is calling or texting. Now, many of you just want the support. Probably you're a DIY or the do-it-yourself mindset, and you just really just need that portion of it. So what I have been able to create is the Realistic Regen Ag Community, and it's hosted through an app called AgVisor Pro. Now this will be a private paid community within the app. You'll get exclusive content from me. There'll be updates on the season, and you can ask me any question you want at any time. Now the question will be posted into the community, and it will be anonymous if you choose. So if you're concerned about whether you really want to ask something or really want people to see it, just go ahead and ask it. And you'll be able to get answers from the community and also from me. Now the important thing about this group is that I'll be there to give geographical context and to comment on any scientific basis. So we're not going to be too critical of what people are putting out, but if I see something in it that I think I just want people to be aware of, I'll put it in there or I'll give my answer. And in this way, everybody can learn from everybody's questions, and then hopefully what will happen is that you won't have to repeat the same things that other people have come up with, or they might even ask questions that you didn't even think of and are going to help you in your operation. The cost for this is going to be $300 for a year, or you can pay monthly at $30. We're going to limit it to the first 20 people to start, just so that we have some time to get to know each other, get the app working, get a good start to the season. There'll be a link in the description for this, and you can click on it or touch on it on your mobile device, and it will guide you to create an AgVisor Pro account and download the app if you don't already have it. If you do, it will take you straight to the community. Now, there's some late breaking news that I didn't have time to get together for this podcast. And in fact, I'm still just sifting through the details, and I think details will be coming out over April as to what is all included in this funding. But the Alberta Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Partnership has been announced. You might also hear it as SCAP, so Sustainable Canadian Ag Partnership. This is the new version of the CAP program, which you may have heard of before, the Canadian Agricultural Partnership. It's a huge deal that's made between the federal government and the provinces. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes on this. So it's going to take a little bit for me to get through it and figure out what's most relevant to growers in Alberta. It will be similar in other provinces, but each of them will do things a little bit differently. But if you have questions about your province, please let me know, and I can help you, or I can direct you to someone who can. And in the meantime, if you are really curious about it, you can check it out right now. I'll have a link in the description, and I'll be able to answer any questions or help you on any applications. But more details will be coming in May when I send out the next newsletter. And I just want to remind you, if you haven't listened to the previous episodes, I put out 3 other ones this month. There's a book review on braiding sweetgrass. I had an agronomy focus on building disease suppressive soils. And I also put up my regenerative agriculture news roundup, and with the headlining article about light signaling and how it affects plant competition. I'm just wrapping up most of the OFCAF applications for the year. I've been able to get through quite a few of them in this winter pre-planning season, which is the focus this year for this On-Farm Climate Action Fund. They do want pre-approvals before you go out and do things, though I have recently found out that invoices after April 1st are fine, even if they haven't sent the approval at that point. However, you still would be best to get the application in earlier rather than waiting, especially as we're just on the cusp of seeding season. So if you're not familiar with this, it covers cover crops, which is the seed and the seeding costs, soil testing and mapping. There's manure, compost, and digest hauling and application. There's some money for split application of nitrogen and nitrogen inhibitors. This is an important one if you are establishing perennial legumes or renovating a pasture with legumes. You can get that seed covered. And probably the biggest one that I think is going to benefit you the most is getting set up for rotational grazing, which is the internal fencing and water systems. If you want a deep dive on this, last month's newsletter covered this in a lot of detail, and I will put that in the description as well. And just to end this podcast, I will put a plug in for my cover crops course, Profitable from the Start, Cover Crops for the Prairies. It's self-directed. You can start at any time, watch the videos, do the worksheets. You can get office hours with me, or you can get extra help if you go beyond the month of access, or if you don't want to work in a group setting with office hours. So thank you for listening, and I hope to hear from you. I hope to see you in the Realistic Regen Ag group, and I will talk to you again next time.